Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage.
9:25 here at Big 550 KTRS. Blockbuster news just moments ago out of Washington, D.C., about 25 minutes ago. They released their findings on their opinion on same-sex marriage. In a 5-4 decision, gay marriage is now legal nationwide immediately. Very similar to the law where they took the caps off of campaign finance. It was in place immediately. If your rights are being infringed upon, there's no, June 1st, July 1st, January 1st of next year. Instantaneously, now same-sex couples are allowed to marry anywhere in the entire country, including Missouri. Now, which leads me, Scott Sherman, to my next question, which is, Missouri protected itself against some crazy idea like this and passed a constitutional amendment statewide, overwhelmingly, saying that marriage is for a man and a woman only. And it protected marriage from some crazy idea like this. So why is it that 9 people who do not face the electorate get to decide whether or not gay marriage is legal or illegal, and that trumps Missouri's popular vote for a state constitutional amendment?
Same reason that you just mentioned in the Citizens United case, where the United States Congress said there have to be limits on campaign finance, and 5 unelected people decided that that was a First Amendment constitutionally protected right for individuals and corporations, and that's the way it is. What you do as a Supreme Court justice is you hold up the will of the people against the United States Constitution, and you say, okay, this is what they want to do, this is what this legislative body or what this referendum or what this constitutional amendment wants to do. Can they do it? Just because you have the votes doesn't mean it's legal. And so in this particular case, they hold up the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. There are 2 main provisions of it: the substantive due process clause, liberty things like freedom to vote, freedom of expression, and freedom of right of privacy. Other very important things, that's on one side. The other is the Equal Protection Clause. Are you discriminating against a historically discriminated against group? Race, creed, national origin, religion, gender. And they hold those up and they go, does this work? I know they wanted to pass this, but are they allowed to? In this case, in this gay marriage Obergefell case, they held up the substantive due process side, the fundamental right to marry side, and said, is there a good enough reason? Does the state have a good enough reason, governmental reason, to ban these same-sex people from getting married? And the court said no.
Okay.
What they didn't do is also interesting.
We're going to get to that in a second. But basically what the court said today was that the individual rights of the homosexual trumps the state's rights to ban the marriage.
The state's desire to prevent that marriage.
Right.
For what their reasons were morality, history, tradition. They said that's not a good enough reason. Not only is it not a good enough reason, if you go back to Lawrence versus Texas, which overturned Bowers versus Hardwick on the issue of sodomy and said, not only is it not a good enough reason, it's a horrible reason. It's not even a good reason.
Okay, so Scalia, and I know the 4 who lost, or on the losing side of this, all wrote their own sort of opinion.
They did.
But what carries the day? What's
one word? Justice Kennedy, in the oral argument, in Lawrence versus Texas, and today the word is dignity. And I'll read you from page 17.
No.
It's one sentence.
Okay, go ahead.
There is no difference between same-sex and opposite-sex couples with respect to the principle of the fundamental character of the right to marriage. That's it. The dignity of marriage. To be a citizen of this country and to be treated as a second-class citizen, you are dignified by, if people so choose, I don't know that I've found this yet, but if you want to wear a ring and spend the rest of your life with somebody, and there's dignity in that, there's respect in that, and that principle that all people are created equal and have the right in this country for the dignity of citizenship, That's his reason. That's the decision.
We should also say that this doesn't force the Catholic Church to perform same-sex marriage ceremonies.
This has nothing to do with whether a religious institution
Right.
wants to sanction something that they don't hold in their scripture or their
This
codicils.
means that a same-sex couple can walk into any license office in the state of Missouri or any license office in the 50 states and say, I want to marry my same-sex partner, and by law, they must give them a marriage license.
That is correct.
In every single county, in every single town in America.
That's right. And go to another state and have them recognized as a married couple.
And Scalia said, why shouldn't that be?
Because they want the process of government. They don't say we never want this.
Right.
They're not bigots. What they said is let the legislatures decide this. As time goes on, it will get straightened out. Don't force this upon the legislatures. But what is interesting about this decision is that it stops at the substantive right of marriage.
We're going to get to that in a second. But I'm short on break, but there's a lot of questions here. And I had one more. Which is
writing their own opinions versus one.
No, there was another one. We'll get to it. Fascinating stuff. Whether you agree or disagree, gay marriage now legal in all 50 states in America, including here in Missouri. 9:31 here, Big 550.